What's up? Happy Friday. So, I would like to talk to you today about why you need to train your mind the same way that you train your body. This has been coming up for me a lot recently because I've been realizing and relearning over and over the lesson about consistency and how important it is to actually keep showing up. Hey, Wendy, keep showing up consistently over and over and doing the work and showing up and doing the work and showing up when it comes to the things that we want to actually improve, So I think that for a lot of us, things like fitness or health or doing a good job at work or being a good parent or being a good partner or um, being a good friend, like the things that we value in our life, we tend to, at least hopefully, we should be working towards showing up consistently and like putting in the work and doing the actual things on a freaking daily basis that it takes to move in the direction of what we actually want in those areas. And I think very few of us actually do that for our mind, right? Take fitness, right? For example, that's always an easy one for me to pull on because I clearly am a fitness person. I'm obsessed with exercise. I love it. It's like such a happy maker for me. In case you don't know, I have a background in fitness. I worked as an outdoor personal trainer and boot camp instructor in San Francisco for about 7 years, and I freaking loved it. It was so much fun. I miss it. I wouldn't go back to it because that's totally not my mission and my purpose, but it was close. It was aligned before I found the coaching world. It was like the closest I could get to empowering and inspiring people and helping them find their inner strength. I just was like literally helping them find their physical strength. I didn't realize that what I'm really about is helping them find their mental and emotional strength and their inner strength. And yet, like, finding your physical strength is it's very conducive to also finding your mental strength. So the two go hand in hand very well. Most of my clients, even though we're not working on fitness together, we're not working on health and fitness, like a lot of them end up getting really fit in the process because they get so committed to mindset work and self-care and everything. And then, fitness is all intertwined in that. But here's the thing, like so for anyone who knows anything about fitness or health or getting strong or working on whatever it is you're working on, let's say you want to train for a marathon, like you don't just go out and run a marathon. That would be completely unsafe. Like a few unicorn people can actually do that and be okay. Most of us mere mortals and humans, if we're going to train for a marathon, we need to be careful. We need to be slow. We need to be thoughtful. We need to, show up consistently, regularly over time in order to ramp up safely, especially if you're like me and you have past injuries. Like I've had Achilles tendonitis, I have knee things. And when I'm training for a race, I need to go really slowly and carefully. And so I do it over time. So little by little, right? Or if you're working on getting stronger, if you're into CrossFit, if you're going to yoga or Pilates or bar or boxing or whatever you're into, right? You don't just like do it once and then cross it off your list. You don't just do it once a week. You ideally are showing up on whatever a safe and regular basis is for you. For me right now, we're pretty big in the CrossFit world and we're CrossFitting at home in the garage and doing the best we can with the equipment we have. But like, it's just such a non-negotiable for me now. I just go out and I always have 90 minutes set aside for a workout. And then I usually run 3 days a week too, or walk or whatever. But like, to me, it's as non-negotiable and obvious as like taking a shower or getting sleep or drinking water. Like these are just things that I'm so committed to that wellness. So of course I would do it, right? But do we do that for our mindset? Do we do that for the way we think? Do we do that to, like, you guys, our brains are so amazing. Our minds are so crazy powerful, and most of us are doing jack shit about it. Most of us aren't doing anything to train our minds. I know mindfulness is a hot topic, and so more and more people are meditating, which is amazing. Like, if the entire world meditated, we would be in a very different place. Let's just say that, right? So meditation is awesome. And if you're doing that, you're way ahead of the game. And there's so much more to it than that. Like, it's not just meditating. There's so many different parts of mindset and training our brains, becoming more aware of how we think, more aware of how we feel, more aware of how we respond to things. We can become more aware of the fears we have and the old stories and the limiting beliefs. And yet, like, it's not part of our regular lives. If it's a regular part of your life, you're way ahead of the curve. Like, so much more power to you. And that's what I'm realizing too, is like, I mean, it depends on what your priorities are, right? It absolutely does. And if you don't care about mindset, like, all good, right? For me though, I'm a mindset coach, so I'm biased very, but the power of mindset to impact and to influence and to really drive every single piece of your life is like, it is indescribable. So what I'm getting at is putting a little bit of time on a regular basis into training your mind can reap the most amazing awards, right? Just the way that if you care about your relationships, you're going to invest some time on a regular basis. The people that are closest to you, you know, whatever that means for you. For some of us, it's like having a daily, daily text check-ins with people we care about. For some of us, it's making sure that with your partner, you know what their love language is and you're doing everything you can to fill their emotional love tank. That's a shout out to the 5 Love Languages book. If you are really committed to your career and to making a difference or a contribution in whatever your field of work is, like, you don't just do it once and then stop. You don't just check in, once a month. Like, you show up every damn day, right? If you're like me and you have a business and a mission and a platform and you want to go out there and inspire and empower people, you have to show up every day one way or another. Or the more you show up, the more you're going to be able to have that impact. The more you put time and love and energy into relationships, the more they're going to expand. The more you're committed to your health and your wellness and hydration and nutrition, the more you're going to become vibrantly healthy. And of course, the same thing applies to your mind. It applies to your brain. There's so many ways you can improve your brain health, you guys. It's crazy. Half of the stuff I've only learned just in the last few months, or maybe in the last 6 months. There are so many ways that your body's health, your gut health affects your brain. There's so many ways that your brain affects your body, right? When you're in fight or flight or freeze mode, when you're in a state of stress or anxiety and your brain is releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, and you're doing that on a regular basis, that takes a toll on your physical body, right? So your brain is affecting your physical health that way, but then vice versa, the different components of your physical health in your body, like your gut health and other pieces, can affect your brain too. And then there's just the way that you are actually thinking, the way you're talking to yourself, and how that shows up in every area of your life, right? How you talk to yourself influences your own perception of your own identity and your self-worth and things like that. And that's going to affect how you, respond when you get triggered in a meeting at work. Or that's going to affect whether you yell at your kid when you snap at something or not, or if you can take that second and take a breath and respond. It's going to affect your sex life. It's going to affect your money. It's going to affect everything, right? How you think and how you talk to yourself is, I don't want to say it's everything because it's a little overly dramatic, but it's everything. Like, it's so important. So why do we not prioritize it? Why do we not put more? And it doesn't have to be like a full-time job. I mean, I was thinking to myself earlier today, I'm like, I'm so obsessed with mindset that I literally, one of my goals, one of my dreams is to get to a place in my business where I can spend, maybe 2 hours a day working and have everything else really automated and have so many systems in place and be delivering so much value that I can spend most of the rest of the day learning. Like, I definitely want to spend 3 or 4 hours on self-care, right? Today, or these days, I probably spend about 3 hours a day on, fitness and morning rituals and things like that. Sometimes 4. Usually I get up at 6 and I don't actually start work till noon. So there's breakfast and showers and stuff in there, but there's like a significant amount of time I spend on wellness. But I'm like, what I really, really want is to be able to spend most of my day just learning and studying so that I can have more to give, so that I can facilitate transformation that happens more quickly for people. Like, I want to be able to help people transform as fast as possible, which means so much more learning, so much more training. There's so many things and tips and tools. And anyway, so learning how to master our own minds, learning how to think better, learning how to be more aware and use that awareness to shift the way we interact in the world, shift the way we show up, shift how we think, how we speak, how we respond to life and to our circumstances, is hands down one of the most powerful things you can spend your time on. And yet very few of us actually spend our time on that, So my question to you, if you feel like responding, my question to you is, are you training your mind in some shape or form? Are you training your mind the way that you train your body if you're a fitness person, or the way you train the way that you're committed to other parts of your life. Like, look at the things that you're committed to and think about the ways that you're showing up in that with integrity in that commitment. Are you showing up every day and training your body? Are you showing up every day and working on your relationships or working on your work or whatever it is, the things that you care the most about? And then ask yourself, what are you doing for your mind? And some of you are totally meditating. Some of you are doing breath work. Some of you are, finding ways to get centered and calm and like quiet your nervous system and connect into yourself. Maybe you've got morning rituals, all that. If you're doing any of that, like, you're so ahead of the curve, and keep going, and encourage people that to do it. Spread the love. If meditating is working for you, tell people that it's working for you, inspire them, share your favorite apps. If going to yoga or doing breath work is working for you, don't keep those secrets to yourself. We all need them, right? But a lot of us are going to need to hear the same thing over and over before we get to a place where we actually are like, oh yeah, I want to do that too. So are you doing any work to train your mind? Are you taking care of your mind the way that you're taking care of other parts of your body? Or other parts of your life and yourself? If you value self-care and you're really taking care of your body, are you including your mental health in that? Are you including your mental wellness in that? There's emotional wellness too, which is a whole nother topic. We'll save that for another day because I have a lot to say on that too. But like, your mind is one of the most precious assets that you've got. It's one of the most powerful tools you've got. Most of us have no idea how to use it effectively, safely, I was going to say. And it's like this absolute gold mine, right? When you train your mind, you change your life. When you train your mind to function more optimally, to think in a kinder way, and to the thoughts that you think affect the feelings that you have, and the way that you feel affects the actions that you take, and the actions that you take create your results. It's a shout out to Brooke Castillo and the self-coaching model that she teaches, and many, many other teachers who have taught similar things. But your mind is it's at the center of it all. And here we are bumbling around in our lives, we're like these ping pong balls just getting slapped in the face constantly by whatever your circumstances are, right? Work, your boss is being an a-hole, your kids are screaming, there's a worldwide pandemic, everyone's stressed, there's all this shit happening, right? That's not going to change. I mean, the circumstances will change, but the point is there will always be circumstances. There will always be shit that's going to hit some fan, right? And the question is, how do you respond to it? How do you want to be interacting with the circumstances in your life? And most of us are unconscious to that, and we're just doing the best we can with what we have, which is a mostly unconscious mind that is mostly conditioned by fear and whatever our programming was in childhood and our influences and whatever we've been kind of conditioned with throughout our whole life up until now. But the cool thing is we can absolutely pattern interrupt that. We can retrain our brains. We can rewire our brains. We can practice becoming more aware and shifting our thoughts. But it takes practice, it takes training. And you can do it, you can read a book here and there about it, or you can meditate once in a while. Or what if you committed to making it non-negotiable? What if training your mind was just as important as training your body, or doing whatever other work that you show up for every day? For me, for example, like I was saying, all the fitness stuff is just non-negotiable. It wouldn't occur to me to not exercise now like that. I can't imagine a reality in which I was not doing that. It's just a thing. But I'm getting to the place now with, I didn't really realize this was a thing until recently. I'm so committed to morning ritual and all the other things that I do to train my mindset now that I can't really imagine my life without them. And what's so cool is now that I've been much more consistent with that for a longer period of time than I think I ever have before now, is I can see how differently I think every day. I can see how differently I feel, how differently I view the world. And it's absolutely a result of doing it consistently. But it's work, and you have to show up for it. So the challenge, or the invitation to anyone who's feeling called, wherever you're at in your mindset journey, or wherever you're at in training your own mind now, first of all, if you're willing to share, I'd love to hear where you're at on that. What are you doing to train your mind? Are you training your mind the way that you're training your body, or that you're honoring other parts of your whole being wellness? What are you doing? And are you doing something for your mind? And if you're willing to do more for your mind, what are you going to look at? What are you going to commit to? What are the things that might move you forward? And trust me, there's no right or wrong answer. There's a bajillion different things you can do. If you need suggestions, please ask me. I've got an endless supply of recommendations and suggestions for ways that you can train your mind. So many options. Start with something simple. If you're new to the work, start with something simple. If you're already doing something, just try to do it more consistently. If you're already doing things consistently, maybe take it to the next level, do something that's a little more advanced, or do something that's, switch it up, add some variety. If you're already meditating, try adding some other kind of mindset training or journaling or visualizing or whatever it may be. And if you would like support with this, please come to me. I've got lots of suggestions, and I'm always happy to just, do quick little chats and check in and give tips. If you want to go really deep into mindset, come let me know. And I've got options to work with me one-on-one that are very deep dive, very intense, not for the faint of heart, only if you really want to go all in and like do the shit. Talk to me about that. But what I really want to tell you right now, you've probably seen me talking about, is my 39-day, it's Up-Level Your Life in 39 Days. It's just an email course. I put it together last summer. I'm just reopening it now the last couple of weeks just for fun and as a way to offer something that might be really helpful during this whole crazy chapter that we're in with the pandemic. Lots of people are grabbing it. Lots of people are grabbing it for, like, I've had people buy it for their mom. I've had people buy it for their daughters. I've had people buy it for friends. It's a really beautiful way to either invest in your own mindset and do a little bit of inner work every day. It's just one simple email per day. So it's easy to say yes to, and it's easy to commit to time-wise. But it's also fun if you do it for yourself and then you gift it to somebody, or you rally them and get them to sign up for it together with you, then you can do it and you can hold each other accountable. Like, I'm already seeing, I'm going back through it myself again, and I'm kind of accountability buddying it up with some family members and some other friends who are doing it. And it's so fun to be able to be like, hey, did you do day 3 yet? What's your take? I'll pop the link in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions, but grab the course or do something else. Find an accountability buddy, find somebody to help you stay on top of and stay on track with training your mind, because it's a game changer. It's a game changer, not a game chamber. I don't know what that means. Mixing up all the words when I get excited. So thank you for watching if you made it this far. Thank you if you joined live. Thank you if you're watching a replay. Thank you if you're watching this on YouTube. I appreciate you. Lots more to come. If you have any recommendations for content, please let me know. And I'll see you on the flip side. Hey.